Good morning, darlings. Okay, so last lesson we were writing our letters about change in society and what we wanted to see. But the lesson before that, we were looking at what made Scrooge into the man he is when we meet him in Stave 1. We were looking at why he might have hated Christmas, and we were looking at what effect grief had on his life. Okay, so we looked at Stave 2 for this. Now what I need you to do is you need to look at Stave 3. So first and foremost, you need to read Stave 3, have a quick reread, and make sure you are more familiar with it than you used to be. So go ahead and pause the video and do that, and then come back. Welcome back. I assume that took a while, and that's absolutely okay. It's not a problem for that to take a while and for you to just have read through it and to look up any words that you didn't know and to look up any words that you didn't know. Even right tense, miss. I can't do English today. My brain, it's mush. Anyway, so what we're going to do today is we're going to look at the very end of Stave 3 and look at the consequences that Scrooge's outlook about Christmas and society had, and the consequences of him being left at boarding school. And it's absolutely fine to go to boarding school, but to be left there alone at Christmas when everybody else has gone home has had the negative effect that causes Scrooge to hate Christmas. And the grief of his sister dying has had the effect of him not wanting to look at Fred because she looks so much like him. She looks so much like him. He looks so much like her. He reminds Scrooge of his sister and he can't cope with it. Now, the consequences of his behaviour and his attitude and how much he shuns the idea of being charitable, the whole idea of Christmas, the whole idea of being involved in society and having some sort of social responsibility, accepting it and acting upon it, is manifested in Stave 3, where we see the present consequences of his actions. We don't see the future consequences until Stave 4, but we need to look at the end of Stave 3 then for the specific consequences and the warnings from the ghost of Christmas present, the spirit of Christmas present. So what I've got for you is a worksheet to do. So you can print this out or you can do it on the word sheet and you can save yourself a copy. Do not save the original. It will be in the S drive, obviously. Don't save the original, otherwise everybody will have your work. So you need to save a copy in your own folder, print it out and bring it into school. So, ignorance and want then. First things first, you need to do some dictionary work. You need to write the definition of the word ignorance, so you may have to look up the root word and use your etymology skills and figure that out. And then you need to write a definition of the word want that might be relevant to a Christmas carol. I say this because there are many definitions of the word want. You have to find the word, the definition of the word that is most applicable to this tale. Okay, so you can go ahead and do that and then come back. So I'm going to assume then that you've done that. You've paused the video because you're very smart and you've not just listened to me drivel on, and you've come back. So then what you need to do is you need to look at this language analysis work. Now this is just this little paragraph here is what we are going to look at. So I'm going to read it out because it's best to hear this. So they were a boy and girl, yellow, meagre, ragged, scowling, wolfish, but prostrate too in their humility, where graceful youth should have filled their features out and touched them with its freshest tints. I'm making up words here. With its freshest tints, a stale and shriveled hand, like that of age, had pinched and twisted them and pulled them into shreds. Where angels might have sat enthroned, devils lurked and glared out menacing. No change, no degradation, no perversion of humanity in any grade, through all the mysteries of wonderful creation, has monsters half so horrible and dread. So the first thing you need to do then is read through it and make sure that you understand all these words. If you don't, whilst you've got your dictionary out for this bit up here, you may as well look up the words that you don't understand in this passage. So you can go ahead and pause the video and do that now and then come back. Well done. I'm going to assume that you have all been very thorough with this. And then what I want you to do then is we need to really get into the detail of this. So I need you to highlight the adjectives in one colour and the verbs in another. Now, I'm not going to be patronising and read out what it is, what the adjectives and verbs are, because they're here on the screen in front of you. And I'm sure in the year 9 of your schooling career, 10 if you include reception class, you are more than capable of reading that. So highlight all the adjectives and then a different colour highlight all the verbs. These are so that you can identify which one's which, okay? Then I need you to consider what language device is being used in this sentence. Spirit, are they yours? Scrooge could say no more. You may have more than one answer for this, and that is absolutely fine. You can put down both. It is absolutely fine. In fact, the more you can see in one quote, the better. You want to be able to squeeze the life out of a quote. You want to be able to get absolutely everything you can into your analysis to get the marks that you know that you deserve. Okay? So you might want to just identify one or two, perhaps, methods in that quote. Okay, so then I've got a little space here for you to write in, so you can print this off and write it, or you can type it up in this space. It's entirely up to you. Personally, I'd write it because of muscle memory and your brain processing what you write, what you handwrite more than what you type. Also, it's good practice for you because you will have to have an assessment on this before the end of term. I will warn you about that now, so it's important that you are able to practice your writing because you will have about 50 minutes, no more than that. You'll have to give yourself 50 minutes at home to write your assessment answer, okay? So you need to make sure that you can write well. What might the spirit mean here then? Write your thoughts in the space provided. Now, do not forget, we do not use the words I and think. We know it's what you think. You're writing the paragraph, okay? If I see those words, I will cross them out. We don't need them. They are pointless. So, they are man's, said the spirit, looking down upon them. So here he's talking about the children, ignorance and want. And they are man's. They are man's child. So here we mean mankind because we know that because it's got a capital M. We're not talking about one dude. We're talking about the whole of humanity here. So think about that then and write down your ideas in formal language, third person formal language, in the space below. I've not left you a lot of space because A, you don't need to be waffling on for 100 years, and B, you do need to make sure that your answers are concise and to the point, and you can easily convey what you mean in a short space of time when you are analysing. Okay, so they are man's, said the spirit, looking down upon them. So go ahead and pause the video and do that, and then come back. Okay, I'm going to assume that you've done that. Well done. So in this box here, we've got a little quote. This boy is ignorance, this girl is want. Notice how they've both got capital letters. Beware them both and all of their degree, but most of all beware this boy, for on his brow I see that written which is doom, unless the writing be erased. What is he saying? This boy is ignorance, this girl is want. Now you're going to use the stuff up here from your definitions about what ignorance is and about what want is that best fits this tale. And if you've got something that doesn't quite fit into here, you might need to look at those definitions again and change the want definition. Okay, this boy is ignorant, this girl is want. Beware them both and all of their degree, but most of all beware this boy, for on his brow I see that written which is doom. Notice the capital, it's really important, unless the writing be erased. Okay, so there is a couple of metaphors going on here. So you need to think about that and what it might mean on a deeper level. So go ahead and pause the video and you can write. So I've only given you 3 lines here, so you can write in there. You need to be concise again, and you need to make sure that you've got your answers to the point but spot on. Okay, you need to make sure that they are accurate. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video and do that, and then come back. Well done. I'm going to assume that you've all done fabulously well. So now what you need to do is explain how Dickens has used language devices to present his argument about poverty in the Victorian era. You can do this by finding the metaphors and why they're there. You can do this by finding at least 2 examples of alliteration and explain how they reinforce the points. And then in order to enhance your answer, so those are your bronze points, guys. Those are the bronze tasks. Those are the ones that everybody absolutely must do. Then if you want to enhance your answer, you're going to look at the silver one, and you're going to talk about the sentence structure and its effects on the reader. So you need to look at your compound sentences, your complex, your simple, your compound complex, what they are and what they do for a reader. If it's a short, simple sentence, perhaps then this is to just leave a point there and not have any sort of argument against it, maybe. Something like that. You have to determine that for yourself. This is really what we call close reading. This is really, really intense analysis, but this is what's going to get you the best marks, and this is the way to break this down and approach this task. So, discussing the reason doom has a capital letter and its effect on the reader. Okay, for those of you whose parents watch reruns of Dad's Army, we're all doomed might mean something to you. If not, I just feel very old and don't take the mickey. So, you have the rest of this page to think about these things. Now, you can either split them up into different paragraphs, or you can couple them into a bronze paragraph, a silver paragraph, and a gold one. If it is that you use more than this space for this particular answer, as long as you are focused on your answer, that is absolutely fine. Okay, so this is challenging, not going to lie, this is difficult work, but I know that you are more than capable of doing this. So, otherwise I wouldn't set it for you, would I? I wouldn't give you something that you couldn't access. So, if you are giving it a go, fantastic, well done. If you are struggling with it, but you still want to give it a go, please email me or tweet me at MissHine English. I am here to help make me earn my money. Okay, so this will be done and it will be in your books, so you can hole punch the sheets and bring them in so you can put them in your books. And I will have a look at them when we get back. So this work is really, this will probably help you in your assessment. This is really going to be useful. So it's important that you A, do it, and B, give it your all. Do it well. Really focus on it, because if you don't, your future self will not thank you for it. Okay, so if you need anything, email me or tweet me at MissHine English. You know where I am. Stay safe, stay indoors, wash your hands with soap, be good, work hard, and I will see you soon.